what you can do or what to do when you're not having sex. Momentum, purpose, and impact. I think I just have one of the most powerful lessons you could ever learn. You're judged anyway.
I'm Cass.
And I'm Kathryn.
The problem is most of you think about just saving your marriage. You don't understand what the impact will actually do. Privileged way of thinking. And
We're MorrowMarriage.
Let's flip divorce statistics with the new marriage.
Welcome to the MorrowMarriage podcast, guys. Today, I want to talk about what you can do or what to do when you're not having sex. Now, I want to bring this up because the amount of people that message, and this is a lot of women now too, you know, what do I do with my husband? Guys, there is in no way, shape, or form a magic pill that's going to get your partner to just want you. Well, there is one. Don't ever buy it. It's not going to be a good idea, okay? Now, the reason is simple. They don't want you when you give that pill. But the reason is simple, guys.
What pill?
Roofie?
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
Like, gosh, no, right?
My goodness.
Okay, but there is no magic pill. If you can think about it like this, you were very intimate, you were attentive, you were loving all in the beginning, and that slowly deteriorated. The word erode comes to mind, okay? If that has slowly happened over time, you know, the first thing that people try to do is they try to recreate the spark. We got to make sure we go on more dates. Let's be more intentional with conversations. Try to be sweet, sticky notes and flowers. And while all of that could be wonderful, you've eroded so much and so many other things that doesn't really do anything, right?
Mm-hmm. You're too far gone.
You're too far gone. Yeah, so when you're looking for this magic pill or you send a DM asking what to do, in no way, shape, or form is a DM or a podcast episode going to change your sex life.
Mm-hmm.
In no way, shape, or form. Over time, picking up a lot more skills, gaining a lot more knowledge, implementing a lot more, learning to adapt with your partner because everyone's different, then we can maybe talk about it. So if we can't do like the romance, recreate the spark, I'm not saying you shouldn't try to involve that, by the way. It's just the last thing that I teach in my program. But what can we do? Well, the very first thing you should do is go back to the last episode and we should start talking about masculine versus feminine, and we should build on that. Emotional connection, understanding what a male and female role is. And I don't mean like house roles, although that is important because partnership feeds into this. So many people, for example, you know, well, we're just roommates. Like everything is so perfect. Guys, you might think that on paper you look so good. But if you have awkward conversations, or if you're having incredible conversations, but then there's some major pullback, no, not tonight, a grossed out look all the time, right? And I got a message. This is episode inspired from a woman today. Her husband is treating her this way. Then there are things that he doesn't want. I have a man in my program yesterday. He had sex with his wife and very insecure. She said some very mean things.
During sex?
And after. You know, he's done a lot of good work. He's pretty new to the program, but she ended up saying something right after one day. I think maybe he was quick, he was fast. And she said something like, maybe I need a big black hawk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And like this,
my goodness,
this obviously affected him.
Obviously.
Okay? And so the next time he goes to be with her, she didn't really want to. They had a great day, a great night, and he didn't really want to ruin that. He liked enjoying this emotional connection. She wanted to have sex. They went for it, and he got a little insecure, like rightfully so. And all of a sudden, a little bit soft downhill, and then boom, she's out of the bed and lashing out at him, and God knows what she said. Okay. Well, you have to understand that obviously that's not changing the sex life that you want. So the reason why I bring this up is important. When we start to get what we want, we automatically sometimes sabotage. We do a lot of stupid shit, right? And if you've spent all this time trying to rebuild, remember what I said this man did, great afternoon, great date, everything was great. If you're starting to rebuild all that, that's good because you're now going deeper than we look good on paper, okay? But you have to maintain that. And you see something here that's pretty special, but people don't talk about is you both need to be safe. You both do. You know what I mean? And if you can embrace that and understand that, it's not a magic pill. There's foundational pieces that are missing. It's going to be emotional connection on both sides. I don't care what you say as a man. It's going to be emotional connection on both sides. We all want to be loved and validated, feel needed, feel wanted, feel like we don't have to worry the partner's going to leave. But you got to stop with trying to strive for baseline normal. right?
Mhm.
How many times do we have to say that in a week? People, what is your vision for marriage?
And they describe normalcy.
Like,
And I'm like, okay, let's talk about this for a second. What you just described is bare minimum. What do you actually want? When you were a little girl, what did you dream about when you thought about your Prince Charming? All those sorts of things. Nobody thought, I just want a relationship where I don't fight and where my husband doesn't yell at my kids.
where it's peaceful.
Nobody
Yeah.
says that.
No.
If you come from a case of abuse, you might say, I just want peace in the home because you grew up traumatized and living in chaos. But for the most part, you've learned to want more for yourself. And so before you get married, you want more. And then you get married and everything goes away. All of the happiness, the joy, the fun, everything tanks. You forget that this is what you used to want. And then I always say to my women, it's hard to shoot for the moon when you can't see it, because you forget that it's there. But when the clouds roll away, or whatever happens at nighttime,
when you're sleeping,
the moon, well, yeah, I'm asleep when it's dark out, you guys. I don't know what it's like. The moon is still there, but if you can't see it, you can't shoot for it. So when your marriage gets so chaotic and traumatic and toxic, and you can't remember what it's like to dream, sometimes it can be, your nature is going to be like, I just want to not fight. That wouldn't be anybody's goal starting out. You don't get married saying, I just want to not fight. That's all I want. No big deal.
Exactly. And this is so important, because when you get to this stage, whether it was as abusive as Kathryn is me, or whether it just kind of went downhill and we're just roommates, okay? No matter what, you're in that stage. So the abusive people or the toxic people, everybody has to climb up the ranks. We get to the roommate stage eventually at that point. And then when you're there, we all need to get out of it. So do what Kathryn's talking about and think well beyond. Whenever I ask a man what their vision is for their marriage, and we can go past the past, we can start to look backwards and actually undo the damage that's the foundation you need instead of the spark. Let me give you an easy example.
Okay.
Every one of us had kids. Well, you know what I mean? Our wives did. And then when the kids came, it was natural for most of us to go, okay, well, I'm going to work. You're going to take care of the home. Okay. What we start to create is an environment where wife becomes more masculine, starts making all the decisions, running the show, doing this, doing that. And also, you're doing what you think you're supposed to do. So everybody thinks it's okay. But now by the time you get to the roommate stage, you're more involved, but maybe there is some resentment that was never dealt with. Or maybe you are actively making decisions, and because of the years of wanting sex and giving to get, that maybe your partner doesn't trust you. You're just doing it just to get laid. So we have to undo that damage in order to have the life where she trusts you as a partner. So I'm just using that as an example. I think that can go both ways. But my point really with this is, like, if you want more sex, there's no magic pill. You've got to figure out what you need to have the life in the future. If you want peace, don't talk about peace, offer peace. I don't care what your partner does. Be the peaceful one. If you want to have a relationship where your partner's looking at you with lust, okay, well, do you even look good? You could start there. And I'm not talking about your face and your genetics. I'm talking about what you can control. How well do you dress is an example that comes to mind.
Just, are you taking care of yourself?
That's right.
Pride in your appearance.
That's right. You can't say there's things that I want and not offer them. And then you can't stop with the target, right? Not shooting for the moon, like Kathryn said, and expect to ever actually truly get there, which is why I think most people end up as roommates, because we're just trying to get along. A lot of you are just keeping the peace or fawning or just agreeing, just giving false agreement just to make sure that we are not unhappy. Well, if you build that up over time, you're creating a wrong kind of life, the sexless life you don't want right now. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You have anything you want to add?
Nope.
Guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.